These games were intense. Stop losing those first games. Yeah, that's what I gotta do, because in the bracket there's no room for error. I always like start out losing those first games. That's unfortunate. Congrats, thank you, Muro. Thank you, and welcome. Thank you for that follow. Rated deck, Mega Knight, Witch, Hog, terrible, disgusting, terrible. 3 out of 10. Went all in on his Arena 17 deck. Here we're playing Miner MK. We play Miner Zap well timed at start to get maximum damage on tower. This matchup is mine until triple elixir, because then he can just start hitting so many graveyards down. Here, because he just played a Zappies and Fisherman, I was assuming it was Royal Giant, because Royal Giant is a terrible matchup with this deck just because I can't really defend once he starts doing split lane and whatnot. So we go with those aggressive, with the aggressive Mega Knight to try to jump on the Zappies, take them out, and create problems for him. But he did end up having Graveyard, which was, you know, less fortunate for us. Here, he recognized the Elixir advantage, but we were able to defend fine with the Queen. We saved our Zap for this ability here. I mean, save our Zap, yeah, for his ability there. Are you signed by Luis? I'm not signed to anything just yet, too. So here we're even elixir, we're up some damage. We have a split lane situation, which in this matchup is what we want to look for. Despite the matchup being not fortunate, when you're at a disadvantage with the matchup, you have to look for things that are going to put you in an advantage and that sort. Here 1 minute gets shot on tower, so that's very, very nice. Thank you, Palkas. Thank you. And yeah, here double elixir is getting close. Kind of just waiting. Zappies are going down the lane. We opt to ignore because obviously we're splitting lane, and then we pressure up high with wall breakers, forcing out the arrows. Here we're looking to get good value out of our Prince, so we played all the way in the back, and we have our Mega Knight ready, not just to build an offensive push, but to be ready because of the Fisherman that you guys could see. He had queued up in his hand, but opted to wait a little bit before playing it. And here with the Mega Knight tanking, we're gonna go ahead and get our Miner on tower. And because he didn't have his Zappies in cycle, he doesn't really have anything small. His best troop against my Prince is his Fisherman, so that's what we always got to look out for. Here we didn't go in with the arrows, just because if he played the Giant Skeleton in front, it could have been a problematic graveyard. So here we just zap to prevent the Fisherman from pulling. And once again, we're looking to get value out of our Prince, so we're going to go ahead and play it in the back. And then we'll pop the ability here on this Queen. Remember, his Fisherman is his best tool against my Prince, so we want to avoid it getting value against our Prince and get value out of our Prince ourselves. And as you can see, we're doing a great job of that. Look at the Prince putting in work onto the Skeleton there. So that was great. Here we're going to play a Zap just to kill that before he can get off an ability. Prince, just in case he played a tank high like a Giant Skeleton, opts not to do that. But here we're going to time a good Mega Knight jump so he can't get his Hunter shot off, just preserving our HP, getting the maximum value possible. Here, Miner to the back, just start chipping away. And these Zappies are crucial because we saw the Hunter come down in the back. I mean, these minions are crucial, I'm sorry, because we saw the Hunter come down in the back and we recognized that it was going to get good value against the troops that were remaining. And we did a great job at keeping up pressure, getting value out of our Prince, preventing him from getting a graveyard down until triple elixir. Here, once again, we're aiming to get value out of our Prince. It was unfortunate that the Fisherman pulls it this time around, because as you can see, now his Fisherman is alive and the tempo kind of starts to shift just a little bit. We zap there just to get rid of the Fisherman, which was very, very crucial. He's going to go in with a graveyard here. The minions were placed in such a way that he had to either use the arrows or go in with the graveyard at the same time. But that was great timing on our part. Here, graveyard skeletons loading in. RNG snowball to make some more room. Minions to pick up the Fisherman as quickly as possible. I know that he just wasted a snowball, so I'm trying to be a little bit varying my Miner placements. He does catch it with the Skeleton King, which is super unfortunate. Here, once again, though, we're trying to prevent the steamroll. So we play a Prince to start charging onto the Giant Skeleton. His matchup in triple elixir, I believe so, and double and single, I can really make a lot happen. Yeah, here he gets off the Skeleton King ability, which wasn't good on his part. We're able to get a good Mega Knight jump. Unfortunately, he has arrows in cycle again because of the Skeleton King. He's keeping that 3-card cycle. Here we're trying to get a good zap, which really didn't end up hitting anything, so kind of a wasted zap there. Here we tried to create pressure with the wall breakers. Wasn't really the case. Play our Miner, he doesn't end up catching it. there, maybe I could have zapped on tower, but I just wanted to have it on the defense. And yeah, I used my zap there. It also didn't hit anything. And then the one skeleton hit there, and that was it for that. So unfortunate. We played that really well. I guess we could have pressured opposite lane maybe, but because of the HP that we had on the right hand tower, it wasn't really the way to go. So difficult matchup. We played it well. Unfortunately, Graveyard can take games away from you like that. But like the good thing is, in this best of 3, I knew I was playing well, so I wasn't too worried. Here in the second matchup, we've got Piggies, who decided to poke in with a nice period at the start. He's got Hog Rider. That's automatically something that I don't want to see. We defend as cheaply as possible. Reason we don't want to see Hog Rider is because Hog Rider 90% of the time in these duel games is going to be complicated with is going to be complemented with the bomb tower. As you can see, he's got that ready. And by this point, he's probably already identified that I've got either Royal Hogs or Hog Rider. So he is ready with that. Here we don't really want to commit. We can't really play our Royal Hogs. He's just going to defend easily with a bomb tower. So we cycle an EQ. Cycle an EQ on that Musketeer. And here we've got to take care of this monk before he can get a lot of value out of it. So what we're going to do is use our Ice Spirit to tank a Musketeer shot. And it actually made the Ice Spirit jump as well. So that was actually perfect timing there. Here I didn't want to use my log because of the possibility of his ability coming down. And here an Ice Spirit on our end is going to prevent any hog shots. So at the start, perfect defense, perfect micro. Really well played on my ends. But it took so much to get a perfect defense like that. And remember, I can't really get any damage, so... And he's up to Elixir, so... Not really the best. We're really worried about the matchup at this point. Here, we pressure with Piggies just to avoid him going with the EQ, because then he would have gotten a lot of damage. So very smart Piggies here to avoid him from concentrating all of his Elixir into that offensive push. Here, we're both just resetting, gaining Elixir for double. And in double is where I can start trying to make plays happen because of the additional Elixir. I have to start being ready with my Mighty Miner Ice Spirit to take care of the Hog. Everything like that. So I see that he wastes his Monk, and I know that he doesn't have his Bomb Tower in cycle, so I play a Spirit. And Archers here as well, I believe. No, I go in with Royal Hogs. And here, I play my Mighty Miner. He's wasted his Spirit, he's wasted his Log, so this Mighty Miner is going to clean up his Monk. Here, I'm just going with Archers and Spirit. And then he just wasted a lot of Elixir there, so I'm going to go in with a push of my own. I'm trying to take advantage of my 3-card cycle with the Mighty Miner. And there I tried to predict Goblins coming down on that Lone Hog, but he opted to split it up. Archers here on the right-hand side got a good amount of damage, so that was nice. At this point, we're both resetting. This is going to go with a Monk and Bat. I'm going to split Archers. I can't play them on one lane, or else it just gives too much value away. And here he's got a 3-card cycle, and he played his Bomb Tower there. And he just cleans up super easily. So this push is going to be tricky. I have to set up a defensive mortar. We try to get creative there, trying to take out the Monk easily. Not the case. It does end up surviving. Here I have to play a low mortar to make that travel as much as possible. And then I didn't have the sufficient Elixir to tank that Musketeer, so that unfortunately got a lot of damage that was not helping us at all. Here, Ice Spirit, just to kind of make him respond to the Archers, does make him waste Goblins. And here we can High Mortar, and then Archers outside of the EQ range. But as you can see, as well as I'm trying to defend, Mortar does get a shot there, which is also huge. Like, fighting in this matchup up until this point was not easy whatsoever. We did a great job just hanging in there. So here, I'm ready with my Mighty Miner against his Hog. Just because I know it's in cycle and I didn't have my Mortar. He opts to go in the back, so I pressure high with the Ice Spirit. And then this was actually really unfortunate that he went in with a Hog out of there. But regardless, we save our log and it didn't get shots on tower, so that was good. Here, we both have a 3-card cycle, so we're both trying to take advantage of that. I'm trying to protect my Mighty Miner from his Monk, trying to kill it. And then here, Pops the ability is going to do the exact same thing that he's been doing previously. I place my Archers out of the EQ range, and this time, in this instance, we have enough to distract the Musketeer, so it's not getting damage on our tower. We're down 500 damage, and it's super difficult to get onto tower. We can see we're going in with everything we have. We get a good prediction there on the Goblins. Wasn't enough though. And at this point, like I needed more damage from that attack. That amount of damage just didn't do it for me. Here we're trying to outcycle, and at this point, it's just not gonna happen. We get damage, but his hog gets a shot, and we're still behind. This musketeer surviving was also not fortunate for me, because it makes me overcommit with the log there instead of getting an EQ down. And just because we have to spend so much elixir on offense, on defense, we're not able to cycle EQs as freely as he is. So yeah, unfortunate matchup. First one, this entire best of 3 just not the best matchups. But like I said, I played super well these games regardless of the matchup, making the games very close. So nothing really super unfortunate, you know. Samuel was my first round, lost that, so we're down 0-1 at the start, and then we go against Eric. Keep in mind, right now I was down 0-1 from losing to Samuel, so a lot of pressure onto this match, even though I was focused. I was not really feeling all that much pressure. But here we open up with Giant Skeleton Graveyard. He's opting to go with Giant Skeleton RG. You guys can see that I have the Fisherman ready at the start, but I decided not to play it because of a potential Giant Skeleton at the bridge. So we just cycle some arrows. Hey, no man, how are you? Thank you for that. Thank you for stopping by, man. So yeah, we cycle arrows, and then we're just gonna leak until double elixir. So we'll go ahead and skip there for you guys. By the way, I kind of find it weird that you can't skip your like friendly battles like you can in other battles when it's like duels, you know? I think that's kind of weird. I think they should like fix that to be able to like skip games faster. Are Faust and Flobby the same? Yeah, Faust changes his name to Flobby to try to like change things up. So here we play our Skeleton King in the back. We see his Fisherman in the back, so we immediately go into punish. Fisherman in the back starting to play without knowing your opponent's deck is a very, very risky move. If you know what their deck is, if you know they have E-Giant and you're trying to bait something out like that, that's fine. But if you don't know what they have, like he didn't know I had a Giant Skeleton, this is very, very risky. And it puts him at less than 1000 HP in less than 30 seconds. Here we pop our ability not to get damage, but to protect our Fisherman and make his Archer Queen uncomfortable, make him spend extra stuff on there. As you can see, we're already building up for our next push. And it's all because of that ability. So very smart ability there. Here he tries to get a good Fisherman to get it to switch lanes, but it's unfortunately not going to pull it outside of the range of the tower. So unfortunate for him. And here, this push, she really has nothing for it right now. Archer Queen there would have been bad. RG there is actually worse, so unfortunate play for him. Here, we don't pop our ability because there's really no need to. Our Hunter and stuff would have just walked into the bomb. We do cycle some arrows here, just get some damage. Here we're going to play a low Fisherman, but not too low to the point that it's going to get damaged by the tower. Here, we're not freaking out. We're playing super calm. We know that's not going to get the tower. So we play our Zappies next to it, just not scared that it's going to get damaged, you know? Here, play our Skeleton King to start splashing on to the Archer Queen of the Fisherman. He plays an RG here. Gonna get some pop shots, but it's not gonna be the worst thing in the world whatsoever. Only gets 1. Then that high Hunter was not the best. It's just gonna get picked off. Could have used his EQs defensively a little bit more, so that's good. Good for us. Ale, thank you, bro. That's it, brother. So yeah, that was game 1. We got a good matchup. We also I thought he had lightning because he didn't use a fireball on the Zappies, but he ended up having EQ. So that kind of just removed Hog and something like that out of the equation. So that's nice. Here we go with a Lava Balloon deck just because we have an advantage, and Lava Balloon against this guy did decently well against his entire deck pool. So that's good. He plays a Barbell, we play a Tombstone just to prevent any damage. Vamos con todo, bro. And thank you, Granny. So here with the Barbell and Zappies, I'm still not too sure what he's got. I was leaning towards like a Hoggies deck, could have been E-Giant, could have been a Graveyard as well. It's just a little bit trippy. And here, it was unfortunate that I didn't have my Fireball in cycle. I had to I have to cycle my Zap. And then I just end up missing the Flying Machine completely. So that's just really unfortunate that that happened. We end up getting our Barbs on the Royal Hogs, which prevent too much damage. See ya there. So that was good. Not the best start because of that missed Fireball. That was like, focus, get back in the zone. What am I doing, you know? So it's good to recover there. Good, like, wake-up call. You know? I'm playing well, but can't let anything slip. So that was just really unfortunate. And then here, because we knew he didn't have Fireball, he didn't have Flying Machine Cycle, and he wasted the cage over there, we went ahead and pressured with our Balloon Skeleton Dragons. Which, unfortunately, did not get a shot, but wasn't the worst thing, you know? Here, split Pigs was the way to go. Very smart play from him. But we just ended up splitting up our Barbarians, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. Split Barbarians was definitely the best defense there. And yes, his Goblin Brawler goes on and gets a shot on tower, but we're able to defend. Ilian is Chetty. He's been playing for the game for a long time. And there, he tried to get the quickest timing possible to get the maximum value out of that Golden Knight onto the tower. Unfortunately, he mistimed it by half a second, so very bad for him, very good for me. That was like the tempo shift that I needed to get back into this game after missing that early Fireball. Here, splitting Skeleton Dragons is the way to go because we know he's got recruits at this point and we need that splash damage. Skeleton Dragons are only splash damage, so that's good. Here, I cycled the Balloon just to get the bars back in cycle. I don't really care that he played that Goblin Cage high, which was a very nice play from him. But I'm not really focused on that. Here, I get a good Fireball. Balloon is on tower and it's getting a bunch of damage. So that worked out very, very well for us. Here, Golden Knight, he's probably going to pop the ability, but once again, we ignore it. We zap the tower just to try to get cheeky in case he fireballed the pups. And here, since we see the zappies die, we go ahead and Balloon, and then we play a Fireball. We know that he doesn't have cage right now because he just used it to pull the Balloon. So regardless of what he does, however he decides to defend the Balloon, it's going to get on tower and it's going to take tower. And that's 2-0, bouncing back from the 0-1. Now we're 1-1 in the bracket.